Do you know that 25% of landmass in Singapore is reclaimed? This is the highest ratio in the world as a percentage of the original landmass, higher than Netherlands and higher than China, which takes the crown for largest area of land reclaimed by one single country. When you look at facts like that, you might go, yeah, so? My personal favorite in showing the extent of how much land has been reclaimed in Singapore is in a temple called Tian Ho Gong, and I'll explain why and how it's related to my train trip. So Tian Ho Gong was built in 1821 as a tribute to the Chinese Hokkien Sea goddess Mazu. Notice that this was 2 years after Raffles founded Singapore. No, Raffles did not found Singapore. It negotiated Singapura with the Sultan of Johor, who technically owned Singapura at that time. The inception of the temple coincided with a huge wave of Chinese immigrants at that time who came to the British colony to work. These Chinese immigrants predominantly came from the southern part of China, where it's very close to the seaport, and they are predominantly male because labor was in huge shortage at that time. Labor needed to work in plantation, shipyard, factories, warehouses, you name it. These laborers came to Singapore in small sailboat, not unlike the refugees that arrive in Europe today. As you can imagine, those sea voyages were highly dangerous and a lot of them did not survive. For those who survived the journey, the first thing they do when they arrive in Singapore is to go to the temple and give thanks to Mazu for the safe voyage, just for being alive. When you think about it, a temple that pays tribute to a sea goddess, shouldn't that be located right next to the sea? But when you look at the map today, the temple is at least a kilometer away from the closest shoreline in Singapore. So how does that work? Well, it was right by the shoreline in 1821 when it was first built. In 1880s, the British government decided to reclaim land in front of the temple, and the reclamation continued until early 2000, where Singapore reclaimed the plot of land that the famous Marina Bay Sands sit on. Another clue that the temple used to be right in front of the sea is the street that it sits on. And this is where multiculturalism really shows its color in Singapore. You have a Chinese temple sitting on a street with a Malay name, Telok Ayer, literally base of water. And what do I do at the temple? Ask for blessing for my train journey, of course. My late grandmother told me she used to come to this temple with my late grandfather. So in that sense, this temple has personal meaning for me as well. So there you go. We learn new things every single day. Click a like and a subscribe. Share this with your Singaporean friends and friends of Singapore. 那在下就暂时告辞啦，一路顺风。